Hi, my 4B friends. Happy Fun Friday. Well, it's not as fun because this is our last day talking about the moon, the earth, the sun, space, the sky. We have finally made it and we have built so much knowledge. And a lot of you already knew some of these things. So it's really cool to see what you already knew and how much you can grow on what you already knew and add on to that big list of knowledge that you have crammed into that brain of yours. Yesterday, we got to watch a fun video about the moon, and on Wednesday, I showed you a couple cool videos, or excuse me, cool pictures of the moon. So let me show you those again, because today I have some new things to show you. So the new things I want to show you, I'll get to that in a bit, but we talked about how the moon is a big rock in the sky. It's space rock. It's not actually a star, but because it's lit up, people were wondering what's going on over there. Well, while the Earth is revolving, remember, revolving around the sun, the moon is revolving around the Earth. And because of that, sometimes the sun shines on it. And when that sun shines and hits the face of the moon, it's kind of like a mirror where the light is bouncing off of it, like boom, boom, it's bouncing off of it, and it's reflecting it. That's because it's a rock. If you shined a light on anything, it would light up, right? And so that's just what the moon's showing us. The moon is showing us part of the sun. But if you look at this picture, sometimes when the Earth gets in the way of the moon, it can be difficult to see it. It's still there. You can still see that it's there, but it's just not lit up. That way our eyes can't see it. And it takes an entire month for the Earth to do this little dance with the moon and the sun to join in on it. We might start our month without seeing a moon, and then we slowly start to see it. It looks like it's getting bigger, though it's not. We're just getting more sun on it. And then it'll be a big full moon where it looks like a big white circle in the sky. But of course, the moon will start to look like it's getting smaller, even though we know it's still there, as you can see here. It'll look like it's getting smaller. And that's because, just like this, the Earth is getting in the way of the sun. This January, we talked about the full moon, and Miss Remitz made a mistake. She was reading this wrong. On Wednesday, it was right about to be a full moon, but it technically was. And now today, here we are towards the end of the week, and we're seeing that we're still a full moon. But it's starting to look like it's going to get smaller. And at the start of February, it's going to look like it's getting a little smaller before it disappears again. Or at least to our eyes, it disappears. I wanted to show you something new though. When that moon is getting a little bit of light or a lot of light, it's called a phase, a moon phase. Can you say moon phase? Oh, I wish I was wearing my moon phases shirt. Maybe I'll wear it next week. But I have a moon phases shirt that actually shows this exact same thing about how the moon slowly gets more light, and once it's full, it slowly gets less light until it disappears to our eyes. There's different types of moon phases that I really want you to learn about. And here they all are mapped out. When the moon has disappeared, or at least we can't see it because there's no light on it, that's called a new moon because it's going to start up again. And it'll slowly look like it's getting bigger and bigger until it's full. When something's getting, and it looks like a little toenail, or maybe it looks like a banana, it's called a crescent. Now, a crescent means that little sliver. So if you ever see the moon, whether it looks like it's on the right or on the left, and it looks like that little sliver, that means it's a crescent moon. But sometimes it looks like it's half white and half gone, or half black in this case. And those are called quarter moons. But Miss Remitz, I only see half the moon. I don't see 1/4 of the moon, which is a quarter. Well, it's true. Quarter means 4, just like how it takes 4 quarters to make $1. But remember, there's a whole side of the moon that we're not seeing. And that's why it's called a quarter moon, because we're only seeing 1 out of the 4 sides of the moon. This half we're never going to see. So between these other 2 remaining, look, we can only see 1 of them. So really, we can only see 1 out of the 4 quarters of the moon. But then sometimes it looks like it's a big wobbly thing. It's not exactly a circle. It looks more like an oval than anything. That's a fun word. Ready? That's called a gibbous. Can you say gibbous? Gibbous. Gibbous. Yes, it's a fun word. A gibbous just means that it's almost full or it's almost about to disappear. Now, a full moon just means that that circle we can normally see of the sun, or excuse me, of the moon, is full. We can see every part of it. It's nice and bright. So that's when you can actually see half of the moon, whereas the new moon, you can't see any of it. Now, my friends, I want to teach you a little trick. When the new moon is getting ready to get more light on it and the sun is starting to shine and the moon or the earth is getting out of the way of the sun, that's a pretty cool time. It's called a new moon. But then when we start to see this little sliver, that's called waxing. And I made this for you. Do you like it? This is the new moon. This is the full moon. There's these words that I keep mentioning, waning and waxing. Now, waning means to get smaller, and waxing means to get bigger. But as you know, and I know, and real scientists know, the moon isn't getting bigger in the sky and then coming into the size of a marble. No, it just looks like it's getting bigger because of the light of the sun. So when the moon is full, it's going to start to disappear a bit. It's slowly going to get a crescent, a gibbous. It's slowly going to look like it's getting smaller until eventually there's nothing there. That's called waning, where it looks smaller because it isn't getting any sun. Whereas waxing, it starts as a new moon and it slowly gets more and more light on it until it turns into a full moon. And that's what we're seeing here. This is called waxing. So here we have our waxing crescent. Then it gets a little bigger to the quarter moon. Then it turns into a gibbous. You can see we only have a little bit left before it's a full moon. It only takes a few days for this to happen, right? Because a month is not that long. But eventually, the moon will get less sun because the earth is starting to get in the way again. And it'll slowly start to disappear. This is what it looks like in a little drawing. Depending on when it's facing the moon or the earth, we see different parts of it, right? And that shows you waxing and waning. But I want to teach you a little trick because this is a lot to remember, whether something's waxing or waning, right? So if you want to know if the full moon is on its way or if the new moon is on its way, I want you to take out your right hand. All right, now if you're facing your camera, your right hand would be this one. Your right hand might be the one that you write with, but if you're left-handed, you can make an L. And if it's actually making the letter L and it's facing the right way, that's how you know it's your left hand. So let's take out our right hand, which would make a backwards L. If you take out your right hand and open up your palm like this, and you hold it out to the picture of the moon here, go ahead, do that now. Do you see how the white part of the moon, the part we see, is touching the inside of your palm? Might look a little different if you're watching me do it, so definitely try and you do it. Well, when the white part is touching your palm, that means that the moon is waxing. But if you put up your right hand and you see that it's dark on the other side, so for that example, let's pull up the waxing crescent. If you put up your palm like this and you see that blackness or the space, the darkness of the night sky is touching your palm and the white side's over there, well, that means that it's waning. It's going to get smaller. So if you want to see the full moon, I want you to hold up your right palm and see if it's either on its way, which would show us here with our waxing gibbous, or if it's on its way out, and you have to be a little more patient. It can be hard to keep track of how the moon is moving. So you can always go on Google and look at the month Like I found January's calendar, the month's calendar, and it'll tell you which day will be the full moon and which day will be the new moon. Check it out. Well, my friends, the full moon happened this week. So over the next few days, it's going to start to look like it's getting smaller. That is waning. So try out my little hand trick and see that the black part of the night sky is touching your palm. Check it out, especially this weekend since there's no other homework. I've had so much fun learning about the sky, the daytime, the nighttime, the earth, the moon, the sun, space with you. So I hope you did too. My friends, I will see you this afternoon. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.